Growing up, I always was an outsider or a more creative person, someone who thought a little bit differently from everybody else. I did have a few attempts of trying to fit in, but I did not feel as comfortable as I do now. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Let's go back all the way to elementary school. You are on the playground, you're trying to figure out who you want to hang out with, and you see a group of people that you think that you can be friends with. So you hang out with them and you're having fun. They accept you into the group and you notice that everybody is following a trend. Let's say everybody has the Rainbow Looms bracelet on and you don't have the Rainbow Looms bracelet on. So the next day you want to go get the Rainbow Looms bracelet and you want to be a part of the clique. You want to fit into that group. You want to do whatever they're doing. You want to follow whatever trend that is going on inside the group. You want to try to fit in and you don't want to stand out. I'm sure that a lot of people can relate to that. That's a similar story to something in my childhood. It's not exactly that, but it's just an example. A lot of people have a lot of different childhood stories about just early stages of trying to fit in all the way back to playground days. Let's go to middle school. You see a group of girls wearing a really trendy outfit, all of them wearing different vibes of trendy outfits, and they all have a pair of sneakers, Jordans, whatever edition. They all have them and you don't. You beg your parent, your mom or dad, whatever, to go buy you those Jordans. Let's say you don't have enough money to get the Jordans. You come back to school, you're wearing the same regular shoes. In some cases, the friends don't really give a fuck and it's not that serious. In some other cases, the friends will try to make you feel like you don't belong because you don't have you don't meet the external requirements. All of those scenarios where you are the one left out and you don't fit into the external requirements of a group, it's easy to feel like you have to be a part of it. It's easy to feel like you have to join in on the trend, and it's easy to feel like, okay, I don't want to be left out. I want to just blend into the crowd. I don't want to stand out. For me personally, I didn't have I didn't have a conscious feeling of I don't want to be left out. I felt left out a little, but it wasn't a significant part of my childhood to where like I felt like, okay, this is something and I'd want to actually try to fit in. I just subconsciously was trying to fit in. Like, some people find it to be a bigger issue and something big, like the central part and central focus of their childhood of wanting to fit in. And some people subconsciously just find themselves wanting to fit in. And it's honestly a basic human thing. And you have to try not to nowadays. Once you're older, you're going to see is nothing appealing about trying to fit into the crowd. Let's fast forward to high school. You have a friend, you're in a friend group, and all of them has lost their virginity, and you haven't. You may feel like, I don't want to be a virgin anymore because my friends aren't virgins. I just want to lose my virginity. It's a very common thing where that's the main reason why people are trying to lose their virginity. It's a main thing. It's not even just sex. It's a lot of things in high school where you feel like an internal pressure to try to fit into a friend group, and the older you get, the more detrimental the decisions you make to try to fit in become. I wish that somebody would have told me this throughout my school year days, that trying to be like everybody else and not just embracing yourself is not the right way to go about making friends, going throughout the world. I will say I am proud of myself for being outspoken. I was outspoken, I was creative. I In my friend group, I was the one to like be a little bit crazier, and I always was myself. But I did hang around people that some of their ideas, some of their morals didn't match with mine and didn't align with mine. But I was like, they're my friends, I guess. And I would find myself actually faking me believing or like agreeing with their sense of morality and whatever they believed in. If you're stuck in the energy of you are trying to be like everybody else, you have to know how beautiful it is to be yourself. You have to know how beautiful it is to grow and become a beautiful creature, and you're your own beautiful creature. You have to know that thinking outside the box instead of thinking inside the box is always going to benefit you. Some people think inside the box because that's what the world expects of you. You are expected to conform to societal norms. Thinking outside the box, if you are naturally like that, is you expressing yourself. It's you saying the crazy outlandish thing. It's you being different and you don't care that you're different. Trying to fit into a group and you know what you truly like, you know who you truly are. Let's say you don't even know yourself. If you try to even break free of whatever ideas that group is trying to express and it's a little bit different and they judge you for it, they shame you for it, those are not your people. Being yourself and having ideas and expressing them and you're not getting shamed for them, those are your people. People who let you be yourself, people who provide the safe space for you to express yourself are your people. People who value you for what you look like and they befriend you because you look pretty and nothing else, because they want you aesthetically to match their energy, they're not your people. People who want you to dress a certain way to fit their vibe, to fit their aesthetic and their style, and if they tell you, oh, what you're wearing doesn't match or whatever, and they kind of shame you for your style, they're not your people. There's a reason why if you watch all these coming of age movies and stories and any piece of media that has to do with coming of age, it's always going to include the main character going through an identity crisis, trying to be something that they're not, and then they end up being themselves and it benefits them. It's in their best interest to be themselves. The biggest and most relatable movie that I can mention is Mean Girls. I'm not going to go into depth, but if you know, you know. And if you don't know, bitch, watch Mean Girls. What?
Monkey! You know what? It's not my fault you're like in love with me or something. What?
Oh no, she did not.
Embracing yourself, loving yourself, creating things for yourself, not for other people, expressing yourself and your thoughts, being your own person. If you have to embody something, don't embody what everybody else wants to embody. If you, for example, a lot of people fuck with Beyonce. A lot of black kids when they're younger, they associate themselves with a Beyonce, a superstar, high energy, whatever. And it's like in your face, you know? But some people are more Solanges, more creative, more artsy, and they're not that understood. That's all I can say. Like, sometimes the equivalent of what you're trying to embody doesn't equal the same weight, but it's still valid either way. Beyonce is a show. She's very like puts on a show and like has a bad bitch persona, not a lot of showing her feelings or emotions. She's expressing herself, but the self that she's expressing is a fierce diva, cutthroat, you know. And Solange expresses herself vulnerable and human and makes mistakes. You could see the little cracks and it's fine. Beyonce, she's sheer glass, no cracks at all, and if there is, patch that shit up, and it can't be a sign of anything, of any mistake. If you make a mistake or say something different and you're ashamed, it's not a healthy way to live. I just wish younger me really knew how special she was, because I was like force of nature, and I've had my little moments of like, toning myself down because I have been told that I was too much, and I went through like a phase of just being less, expressing myself less, and trying to fit in more. There was a time in my childhood where you were never gonna catch me trying to be like anybody else. It actually disgusted me to try to be like the next person. Who I looked up to the most was Todrick Hall, and he was so undoubtedly himself.
There is the element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game.
I'm Snow White. What's your name is?
I wish that I could have brought that into my later years, into high school, but sometimes you just learn what you need to learn at a later time in life. I hope you like the video, and if you do, if you fuck with it, click like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.